What is good with the YouTube? It is your boy Sean Rock to the Represent Mandatory Thrive HGBM, because every day it is mandatory for us to thrive, and I am back again with another video. And I need to shave, but I ain't got around to it. I've been doing a lot of cleaning, different stuff like that, so I ain't got around to it yet, but I'm working on it, working on some stuff, some projects. So you know, it's grind time, it's go time. But I want to talk about living alone for the first time. So I'm 35 years old. You know, this is the first time I've ever lived in my own place, you know, by my own self. Of course, I've had apartments, houses, and different things like that, but it was usually when I was in like some type of form of relationship, or I had like a significant other or something like that. So it was a totally different experience. So I've only been living by myself for about say like 2.5 months. Yeah, it's been about 2.5 months. And I want to talk about some of the pros and the cons. So I'm gonna start off with the first pro. Like, you can do whatever you want when you want, which is one of the best reasons why I think men, you know, if I was, you know, a younger version of myself, I would have definitely put the work in to live by myself, because being able to do what you want means that you can do what you want. You can be more productive, you can get more accomplished, you can cook when you want, you can eat when you want, and you don't have to walk on eggshells. A lot of these things people don't talk about, but I'm gonna talk about them because, you know, my goal is to inspire more men and more people to, you know, position themselves in the best positions so that they can do what they need to do. So you're able to do what you want. You can have over whoever you want to have over at any time you want. You can listen to music as loud as you want to. You can walk around ass naked if you want to. Like, you can just do your own thing, and that's definitely a big pro. Secondly, the first con I'm gonna say is it's expensive. So, you know, when rent is close to $1,000 per month, and then you got gas bills. Well, my bills is included in my rent because, you know, I live in a campground. But I'm just saying, you still got other bills like your cell phone bill, your car gas, you know, maybe other expenses like internet, like little services that you have. I have like a couple services that I use online, music stuff, you know, different stuff like that. Those things add up real quick. So it is definitely more expensive than living with other people. But here's what I feel like. It's a con, but it's kind of not a con. And the reason why I say it's kind of not a con, because two things happen. You have to be a little bit more strategic with your money because you're living by yourself. And a lot of times, for me, I can't speak for everybody else, but usually when I lived with other people, it didn't matter who it was, it didn't matter how great or how ungreat the people were. Living with people causes you to have to find ways to cope, right? So you do things, you end up spending the same money anyways coping. Maybe, you know, you have a girl that you want to bring, you know, that you want to date, so you might have to, you know, get a hotel room, or maybe you just need a hotel room for a couple days to kind of clear your head. You know, you end up spending pretty much a lot of that rent money that you would be spending rent, kind of like coping or just doing extra stuff like for me, one of the biggest things that I did when I was living with people is like, I drove like I drove literally like everywhere. Like, I used to just be driving for no reason. Like, I would be driving like damn near 5 hours every day just so that I can just be out on the outskirts, you know what I'm saying? And I would drive, sometimes I would drive to other cities and park, and you know, so you end up spending a lot of this money anyways. So that's definitely a con, but it's kind of, you can flip it if you look at it with the right perspective. All right, number two, the second pro is, I feel like you're way, I mean, this could go either way, depends on the person, but I feel like you're way more productive. I mean, I'm not gonna talk about it, but in this past 2 months that I've been living on my own, man, it's so much stuff, so many projects that I've been working on that I've gotten like way further on because like I'm by myself and I don't have like nobody really to like bother me outside of like when my kids come and stuff like that. But my kids, you know, when they come, they just seem to fall in position. So it's really not a problem with kids. It's usually more, I always feel like it's more adults that be like presenting more challenges, at least for me, than kids. Cause, you know, I feel like I know how to be intentional enough with kids to give them, you know, that general nurturing that they need. And then by the time I focus on my stuff, they just kind of chill out and be cool. You know, I run them crazy and burn them out, and then I can do my own little thing. So I definitely feel like when you live by yourself, you can be more productive. A con is you can be less productive too. Like you could be a little bit more promiscuous, right? Because now you have, you know, you had a place that you could bring people, right? You can bring a, you know, have a little lady over. You know, you can smoke, you can drink, and you know, you can do, you know, you can watch certain movies, you can do a lot of, so a con could be that you could do this stuff when you living with somebody, but it's way more harder, in my opinion, to do. So a con is definitely like, you definitely can be a little bit more loose and lit and wild. Like you can drink more, you could just get into some real bad habits. But this is kind of it's all depends on how you look at it too. This kind of shows you your character, you know what I'm saying? And it shows you what you need to address and what you need to deal with and change about yourself too. So that's kind of a good thing too, living on your own. You can kind of see, okay, I be doing this, I be doing that, this is a little bit too much, I might need to go ahead and tighten this up, you know what I'm saying? So that's definitely another the kind that can kind of pop up. Another pro is you're just more efficient with time. Like certain things you can get done a lot faster because you only have to worry about your own flow, right? You're not really working based on other people's flow, right? Like when you have roommates or you know live with somebody, you kind of gotta like, you gotta use the bathroom at a certain time, you gotta do this at a certain time, you know they're gonna be doing that at a certain time, and you kind of have to work around that, which makes certain things more challenging, especially like if you're a creative person. I feel like this is one of the biggest pros of living by yourself, because like creativity doesn't really have like a clock, right? When it hit, you know what I'm saying? And when it hit, like you gotta kind of gotta jump on it, you know what I'm saying? Because for me, like sometimes I'll have a spark of creativity, and if I don't jump on it, I'll lose it, you know what I'm saying? I can't be like, oh yeah, I had a nice creative little melody in my head or something, that moment I'm gonna just put that on the shelf and get back to that later. I mean, you can, but sometimes you, even when you do that, like you don't even be feeling it no more. So I feel like when you have that spark of creativity, when you live by yourself, you can just kind of dive in and you can just go into it, and you don't have nobody interrupting you. Because that's another thing too, that's like a pro. It's like when you in your zone, you don't really have nobody interrupting you, you know what I'm saying? A con is, man, like you gotta cook for yourself. Like you gotta cook for yourself all the time, bro. Like that's probably the biggest con. I'm not even gonna lie. Like you just be cooking, bro. Like it just be like you don't be feeling like adding no creativity to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes it's like that's dope because you do want to, like you have a meal in mind. You're like, okay, boom, I'm gonna make this meal. But that only happened like once or twice a week where you get that spark, that feel, you know, you put some music on and then you just jamming, you know what I'm saying, doing your thing, and then you start cooking, you be Gucci. But it's only like 2 times, so that's 7 days. Out of 7 days, you might have 2 meals where you just lit. Like, all right, bet I'm about to hook this meal up. It's gonna be fun. You know what I'm saying? It don't be like that every day. Every day I'll be waking up, you know what I'm saying, after work, after work and stuff, and I'm like, dang man, I gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I gotta cook. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, I ain't even gonna cap. Like when I first was planning on getting my own spot, I was like talking mad stuff like about the cooking thing. Like, yeah, man, I'm gonna be, I'm wait till I can, you know what I'm saying? And for the first 2 weeks it was straight, but now it just be irritating. You know what I'm saying? You just be having to cook like all the time, and it's just like, man, I don't even feel like making something. So a lot of times you just end up making basic meals, like the most basic, presentable, easiest, accessible meals that you can make, because you don't be feeling like cooking. So that's definitely a con of living by yourself. Like, you gotta cook all the meals. Another pro is like you can structure like your cleanliness and the way that you live, the way that you do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to be very, very clean, but you know, I kind of became a slob, you know, over the years, just living with different people. So now, like, I'm becoming back more myself, and so that's good, because the pro is like my space is more clean, you know, it's more organized, it's everything's in place. Like, I don't have to go by people's flow. Like this is okay. It's like, this is something that I like to do. I like to put stuff right in a space, even if it's like an inconvenient space, that I can get it as fast as possible because it's convenient. Because if I don't do that, like, I'm not gonna do what I'm trying to do per se. So like, I might have certain things in like weird spots so that it's like available, so I can like do the goal that I tried to do, or that I plan to do, even though it's supposed to go like in a cabinet or right here or right there. But I know if I have to take that extra step to go to the cabinet or go there, I'm not gonna get it done. So I like to have stuff in little random little spots that I can get to it real quick before I talk myself out of doing what I need to do. And that's the beautifulest thing living by myself, is like, because I don't have to worry about nothing. Like, I have my laptop set up on my dinner table, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have my food things, like I have stuff set in weird spaces, like right beside my bed, like random stuff that you wouldn't have beside your bed. But I have it set up like that because I know if I don't see it immediately, or it's not right there, if I had to think about it, I'm like, I ain't finna do this. So that's definitely a big pro. Another con is like, you definitely gotta clean a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you definitely gotta clean a lot more, and that can be sometime a little time consuming sometimes, having to clean and wash and different things like that. But it's also a pro too, because it kind of slows you down and kind of gives you a little time to process and then think about the importance of life and kind of enjoy the process, instead of just kind of being able to just be on go. So that's a couple things I've learned, you know, living by myself at the age of 35, man. And I look forward to, I have some real big plans on what I plan to do in the next year or so, some things I plan to accomplish, man, and I just can't wait, you know. And I feel like this is like just the beginning stages of what I'm trying to do, you know, or not what I'm trying to do, what I'm going to do. And I just want to share that with y'all, man. So I hope this video helps. Salute to everybody out there gaining. Remember, dream big, work hard, live great, don't stop. It's your boy Sean Rock to the AKA Lil Nicky.